the M.L.M for the Soul channel, and if you've never watched my channel before, this will be video number 50. So if you want to know what this is all about before you start watching from this newest video, then definitely check out my first video, because there I explain what M.L.M for the Soul is, and each letter M, L, and M stand for something. It's not the traditional M.L.M that you know about. So you definitely want to do that. And before I begin, I want to just say that may the words and expressions of my mouth and the thoughts and meditations of my heart find favor and acceptance before you, Hashem. And I've got a bunch of people I want to thank, because they've inspired me on my journey, and just incredible people, each one something different and just very inspirational. And I will have links to their sites below this video, so you can definitely check them out as well. They are Rabbi Shalom Arush, Rabbi Lezer Brody, Rabbi Yosef Mizrahi, Rabbi Eli Mansour, Alona Nava, Yuval Ovadia, Rav Daniel Asore, and hopefully I'm not leaving anyone out. So the topic for today is called Two Sides of the Coin. So right here I have a coin. Actually, it's a quarter, if you can see that. And there's the front, and there's the back. So we know a coin has two sides, right? All coins have two sides. There's no coin that only has one side. It's two-dimensional. So why do I choose this topic? Because I was thinking about everything has two sides. There's up and down, there's right and left, there's north and south, there's east and west, there's top and bottom, front and back, open, closed, different things like that, where you have, everything has their two sides. And the same can be applied spiritually, of course, physical, material, soul and body, so everything has its opposite, as we say, or its other side. So it's important to think about this, because a coin is just a coin. It's a physical object. But when we're talking about the spiritual side, the two sides that I'm referring to are more what we call Kiddush Hashem and Chillul Hashem. Kiddush Hashem means sanctifying the name of Hashem, and Chillul Hashem means Chas v'Shalom, heaven forbid, disgracing the name of Hashem. And there could be a very fine line in that. How do I propose this? For example, right now I'm wearing earrings that have the chai on them, if you could see that right there. So, for example, if I go out and I'm wearing these earrings, and I'm trying to be proud of who I am as a Jew, as a Jewish woman, but let's say by chance I do something that is not seen as favorable in the eyes of Hashem, and this person, and let's say people are around and see me, and then they realize, they see the earrings, maybe some people are familiar with it, and they say, oh wow, look at that Jew, that's Chillul Hashem, and that's in public. I mean, bad enough if you do it in private, Hashem still will know about it, but if you do it in the public, that's much worse, because that puts more of a public notice. And you hear about these things, unfortunately, in the media, where if Chas v'Shalom, a frum Jew does something, and the media just loves it, they just put it on every channel and every newspaper, every radio, whatever, all the media, they get a hold of it and they really take it as far as they can go. So that's a big issue in the world today, is that if you're someone who appears frum because you wear the clothing, or you cover your head, or wear long skirts, or things that it's obvious that you look different than the rest of society, you have long side curls, payas, you wear a kippah or a hat or something that looks different than the regular society wears, and you go ahead and do something that is not positive in the eyes of Hashem, because you feel that you have the right to judge, which you don't, only Hashem does. Like, for example, you throw rocks at someone, or you yell at someone, or do something, I mean, more than just yell, you do something that really is disgraceful, then it's really sad, because that's how, unfortunately, the nation as a whole gets a bad rap, because you're not doing something accordingly, and that's very important. So it's almost better to not be dressed or not appear in that way in front of everyone else if you're doing something that is not appropriate, where other people see. Of course, Hashem still knows. What the idea is, it's in a large group. In private, it's just as bad, or if someone doesn't know who you are, it's just as bad. But the idea is, it's better if you don't make it obvious who you are. Don't be so proud of who you are and then make disgrace out of Hashem. So, Chillul Hashem is a very grave thing to do. The idea that we're here to glorify Hashem, to sanctify, to share with others what Hashem, the goodness that He does, and everything He does is good. So we're supposed to spread that around the world for everyone to realize, like, look how great Hashem is. Look how wonderful. Look at this beautiful day He made. Look, the sun is shining. Look, you see the birds are singing, or the butterflies are flying around. Anything that you say, wow, look at the creation of Hashem. Look what He can do. Look what He puts out in the world every day. Every day the sun is shining. Every day the moon comes out. All these things you want to share with people. You want people to recognize that as well, and for them to understand that there's a force stronger than us in this world that has made this world just perfect, just the way it is. Everything is working in a certain rhythm, and exactly the way the world is able to continue to work is because of that. So it's very important, if you want to make a Kiddush Hashem, be very careful that you aren't making a Chillul Hashem. Another way of this is, for example, I've mentioned this to other people, people like to go pray at the site of a tzaddik, of a righteous person. But the idea is, it's a very fine line between what you're doing. Meaning, you're there to pray to Hashem. There's no intermediaries. If you read the 10 Commandments, the Aseret HaDibrot, or you read the 13 Principles, it's like there's only one. There's no other, there's none before, and there's none after. So when you go to pray at the gravesite of somebody who's holy and righteous, you need to be really, really careful and say that, in the merit of this holy person, Hashem, may you help me. Not that this person will help you, this holy person will help you, because that's considered an intermediary. That's like an avodah zarah, an idol worship. So you always be really careful with what you say. You say, Hashem, please help me in the merit of this holy righteous person, or the merit of this holy righteous person, Hashem help me. I would say the other way, Hashem help me in the merit of this person. Another thing about making Kiddush Hashem, or doing what's right, kind of in the same line with what I'm talking about, the two sides of the coin, because it does apply, is modesty. The way Hashem looks at it, it could be like, here my elbow is covered, an inch, a half an inch up, and it's like the fine line between, doing a Kiddush Hashem and not. Or same thing with your skirt, if it's like just barely reaching your knee, or it's a couple of inches below the knee. You have to be aware of that. Also around the neck, it's interesting, I see a lot of people who, they seem to be, very frum, and they have their hair covered right and everything, and then the neckline is really low. It's like, I don't understand that. The neck, sometimes what I do, if my shirt I think is a little bit not correct, a little loose around the top, I'll actually just take a safety pin and I'll just make it to be tighter, so, because even the little things here, I forget what they're called, like why the clavicle, those bones shouldn't be showing. It should be like right above. So you see like right above here, or you wear a scarf around to cover it. So there's a very fine line. Hashem looks at everything. Don't think that you can get away with anything. Hashem sees everything under the covers in your house. So you have to be really aware that, there's a fine line. It could be half an inch difference between modesty and not modesty. And don't forget, too, what people actually forget is when you stand up, it may be okay, the length of your skirt. But then when you sit down, it may actually not be appropriate. So you have to really be aware that when you sit, make sure you check that when you sit, the skirt is long enough, because I've seen it where people sit down somewhere and all of a sudden the skirt is shorter. When they stand up, it's fine. So almost like, don't sit down because you're going to be immodest. And these are people that are actually, known to be people that are careful, and they dress appropriately. So it's very interesting. So you have to really check that. I mean, it's something that you really have to be more stringent about. And you want to always do it for the sake of Hashem, to make Hashem proud and to do what's right. Because that's ultimately what matters, is that we need to bring ourselves closer to Hashem with everything we do. And so that's what's so important. So the two sides, there's two sides to everything. There's a fine line, too, to understand that what we need to do that's more appropriate for Hashem when we're going in this direction, when we're coming closer to the time of Mashiach. We have to really, really be strong and really be aware of this. The same thing with, Nigiyah, touching. If someone comes, they want to shake your hand, someone of the opposite gender, male to female, female to male, and they approach you, you can kind of put your hand down and say, sorry. I sometimes say sorry, I don't, it's religious, it's what I follow, and if they don't like it, Hashem's not going to tell me sorry, oh, why didn't you shake that person's hand? Hashem's going to say, look what you did, how wonderful you did this, you didn't fall into a trap to shake this person's hand or hug them, and you're not supposed to. So it's a test to have to make a Kiddush Hashem. The person that you're with might not understand, or might not like it, but you know what? That's not what ultimately matters. What ultimately matters is what Hashem wants, and we follow what He wants. We want to always make a Kiddush Hashem, and I pray that in the merit of everyone coming closer, making a Kiddush Hashem always, we will merit to live and see the coming of the Mashiach speedily in our days, and the rebuilding of the Beis HaMikdash. Thanks for watching.